In this video, we're going to be talking about the Oppo A57 and I'm going to be helping you decide if you should still pick up this device in 2024. Hi, my name is Shalom from ShallyTech, where we review tech products, talk about tech tips and tricks, and also talk about how to make money online. So if you're interested in any of these topics, feel free to hit the subscribe button. This is the Oppo A57 and it costs about 135,000 naira now. The Oppo A57 features what Oppo calls the glow design, which is responsible for this glittering appearance at the back of the phone. This device is actually available in the glowing green and the glowing black variant. It comes with an IPX4 water resistance and an IPX5 dust resistance. The Oppo logo and the camera bump don't stand out too much, which results in a cleaner design. Now let's talk about the build quality. The Oppo A57 has a metal frame while the back is made entirely from plastic. It can easily fit in your pocket and is not too heavy, meaning you won't feel too tired just holding it or making phone calls with it. On the right hand side of the phone, you will find the power button, which doubles as a fingerprint sensor. The fingerprint sensor is fast but slightly messes up sometimes. On the left side, we have a SIM slot and two volume buttons. The buttons feel cool to the press and make a subtle noise while being pressed on. At the bottom, we have an headphone jack, a microphone, and a USB Type-C charging port, and also a speaker. The SIM tray can actually house two nano SIM cards and an SD card slot, which is very nice. Now moving over to the display, the Oppo A57 has a 6.5-inch IPS LCD screen with a refresh rate of 60Hz and a resolution of 1612 by 720 pixels. Using the phone under direct sunlight is not a problem as the screen is actually bright enough. The Oppo A57 comes with 4GB of RAM, which can be expanded by another 4GB to make a total of 8GB and a 64GB internal storage. I actually noticed some lags with the screen while swiping through the home screen and while using some apps. Now let's talk about the camera. The Oppo A57 is equipped with a dual rear camera. The main camera is a 13-megapixel f2.2 lens, while the second is a 2-megapixel f2.4 lens. The quality of the camera is not that great. Images appear to be somehow washed out and need a little bit of color correction. The dynamic range is also not there yet. As you can see in this picture here, the whole sky appears to be completely white. Now the portrait mode is actually a little decent, although it sometimes struggles with hair as shown in this picture. The zoom camera is also pretty decent as images taken with the camera seem to be a little sharp. Taking pictures outdoors shouldn't really be a problem, but taking pictures in low light would be a hassle for the camera. Now when it comes to video, it only records at 1080p at 30 frames per second or 720p at 30 frames per second. I don't really have much to say, but I'll let you decide. Here are some clips taken with the Oppo A57. Right now, you're listening to the audio from the microphone of the Oppo A57. What do you think about the audio? Is it clear? Do you think it's nice? Do you think it needs improvement? Let me know in the comment section. Now, one thing to note is that while taking videos with the Oppo A57, you actually need to be stable with your hands as this phone doesn't have any form of built-in stabilization. So if you are not careful and patient enough, you might end up with a video that is actually useless. Now let's talk about the performance. The Oppo A57 comes with a Helio G35 chipset, a 2.3 GHz octa-core processor, 4GB of RAM, and a Power VRGE A320 GPU. This particular unit comes with 64GB of storage, but there's another variant with 128GB of storage. I didn't really encounter any issues while switching apps, but scrolling through social media apps was a problem. It was just too slow for me. I noticed a lot of lags. I also noticed that while watching videos on Instagram, the video and audio seemed to be out of sync. Playing games like Shadow Fight Arena and Asphalt 9 was not really an issue, but I'm sure if you start playing more graphic intensive games on this phone, it would actually be a problem for the processor to handle. There's also a game focus mode whenever you open a game, but it only blocks out notification rather than improve the performance of the phone while playing games. The Oppo A57 uses the Color OS 12.1, which is based on Android 12. It comes pre-installed with some bloatware apps, but you can easily uninstall them individually. Now there are some cool tools that could make multitasking easier, such as split screen, smart sidebar, and flexible windows. Split screen actually divides the screen into two and allows you to access two different apps at the same time. The smart bar allows you to quickly reach some functions or launch apps while using other apps on the phone. The floating window allows you to open another app as a floating window on another app, and this floating window can actually be moved anywhere on your screen. I think all these features are actually pretty nice. Now let's talk about the battery. The Oppo A57 has a 5000 mAh battery, which is great and lasts really long. There are three modes to help you control your battery power management. There's power saving mode, there's super power saving mode, and there is super high performance mode. Pretty cool. The Oppo A57 supports up to 33 watts charging, and your phone should actually charge from 0 to 90% in 1 hour, which I think is great for this price point. Now, I think the Oppo A57 is a great device, but the camera could be improved as there are other phones within the same price point that have a better camera. So I really do not understand why the Oppo A57 has just a 13MP camera. The processor is also not the best, and even the display lags a little bit. If you are looking for an entry-level device in 2024, then I would suggest that you actually look for another option, as I don't think the Oppo A57 actually offers you much value for money. So here's my review of the Oppo A57. What do you think about this device? Do you think it's a nice device? Let me know in the comment section and I'll be there to reply to you. If you found this video helpful, feel free to save it for later, share it with a friend, and as usual, stick with me and let's keep ourselves in the techly manner. Till we meet again, cheers.